Okay, hey guys, this is our next position-specific video for defense. We're going to talk to linebackers a little bit. I want to talk to you just basically about what your responsibilities are in terms of what we're doing with the defense and go over again where we want you to be able to line up based on strength and call. I just got done talking with the defensive line about their responsibilities. I need to do a little bit of erasing here so you can get an idea of what's going on if you're playing Sam, Mike, or Will. I actually kind of want to leave this stuff up so you can clearly see what areas the defensive line is going to take care of. The end, they're going to take care of this area. And that also extends to the sideline. The nose tackle, they're going to take care of this area. We refer to that as the A gap. The pistol, they're going to take care of this area. We refer to that as the B gap. And this end is going to take care of this area. And kind of the sideline, although we expect the end to have support when taking care of the sideline. So if you take a look at what's not blocked off in black, you can kind of see where your first responsibility is going to be. Again, we're looking at this as if we have gotten a Louie call. So Sam is over on the defense's left and Will is over on the defense's right. What are you responsible for? Your first responsibility. Will, you've got this area. Primarily that gap. That's what you're going to look at. Mike, you've got this area. Primarily this gap. That's what you're going to look at. Sam, you're in a pretty good spot. You have got this area, but you've already got pistol taking the B, and you've also got the end over here. So you're in a really good spot. When we say you've got these areas and these keys, that means this. Will, Mike, and Sam, your first action off the snap of the ball is to do this. Bounce, bounce. 2 little bunny hops. And during the time that you're going bounce, bounce, you're going to look at these gaps or this area. What is going on in those gaps? For instance, if you're the Will and you go bounce, bounce, and you see this happen, and there's this giant gap, then right away, you know that ball is about to be run right up in there, and your job is to fill. Same thing for the Mike. If you see this block, and there's a gap, you've got to come right up and fill. Sam, a little bit different because you don't have a gap, but you've got a person. If you see this person block out here, then there's a gap for you to rush through. Now, at the same time, as you're watching those gaps during your bounce, you might recognize that these offensive linemen have stepped up to pass block. If you recognize pass, instead of rushing forward, we want you to fall back on an angle, and you would be responsible for the first back who comes out of the backfield. Hope that wasn't too complicated. Here's what it means. If I'm Sam and I go bounce, bounce, and while I'm doing bounce, bounce, I see that that tackle is set up to pass block, I get back to my area. Same thing for Mike. Same thing for Will. And when I'm in my area, I'm looking for this. The first back who comes out of the backfield. As soon as I see that back come out, I go to him because he would be yours. Same thing to the other side. If we had this, he would be yours. Who does Mike have? Mike would probably have the quarterback. Meaning if the quarterback went back to pass, and then that quarterback decided instead of passing he was going to run, we would expect Mike to come up and meet him. Okay, So that'll be enough for Saturday. What do I need you to be able to do? You need to know that if you're the Sam linebacker, you've got to go to wherever the call is, Louie, 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 or Roger, Roger, Roger. You need to know that on the snap of the ball, your first action is bounce, bounce. You also need to know that when you go bounce, bounce, you're reading this key. Just try to find out what the offense is doing. If it's a run, you come up. If it's a pass, you fall back to your areas, and the outside linebackers look for a back out of the backfield. The Mike linebacker watches the quarterback. That might seem like a lot, but we'll get reps and we'll get through that in practice on Saturday. I'll see you then.